Alright, thank you so much for coming to another What's for Dinner episode. I'm going to be bringing you a breakfast for dinner, a Labor Day meal, a Mexican pasta mashup, and then I'm also going to bring you something that I make to put inside lettuce wraps. Oh yeah, these are our favorite. Alright, if you feel inspired by one of these dishes, come along with me and let's get started. Alright, what's for dinner tonight? Today is Labor Day, and so we wanted to roast up some sausages. We were going to cook these on the grill outside, on our charcoal grill, but y'all, it is super duper hot outside and we don't want to sit through that. So I'm going to take these chicken sausages that we got from Costco. They're a roasted red pepper and spinach, and then we're going to lay these on a sheet pan and kind of slit them just a little bit so they don't explode in the oven. And that's what we're going to do with them. We're going to put them in the oven and cook them up in there. And then we got these nice top sliced butter buns that we're going to just kind of toast up a little bit with a little bit of butter inside, flavor it up. And then with that, what I'm going to do is cook up these 2 cans of pork and beans. I'm going to dress it with a little bit of mustard, some ketchup, and some brown sugar in there. And then I'm going to, well, we already did this, but in here we have a delicious slaw. Now this was a kale slaw, so it's got kale, I think radicchio, carrots, cabbage, and broccoli, and there might be something else too. I'm going to go ahead and just show you a picture right here from my haul of what was in here, and then that's what it looked like. We went ahead and put it together earlier after I did the haul, so that way the flavors kind of all melded together before we started cooking the rest of our meal. Alright y'all, I'm going to get started and we're going to show you how we're going to put this all together. Alright, so I've got my toasted bun where I'm going to put in my chicken sausage, and then we got that delicious coleslaw that was made out of kale and broccoli, carrots, and then I've got some baked beans that I cooked up with some brown sugar, ketchup, and mustard, and that is what was for dinner on our Labor Day. Alright, so tonight, what's for dinner? I am making a frittata for everyone. It's going to be really good. It's a really quick dish. Once you saute up your vegetables and kind of heat up your potatoes and heat up your meat, and then just add the eggs to it, so it's going to be really good. So I've got some eggs here. I've got some peppers and onions that I pulled out of my freezer that I'm going to saute up with some hash brown potatoes. Now these are the potatoes, not the shreds. I'm going to be using some spinach in it. Got some Tillamook cheese here that I pulled out of a Ziploc bag. I'm going to shred some of that up for it. We're going to season it with some salt and pepper. I have some heavy cream here that I'm going to whip into my eggs. And then for our meat, I'm going to be using this ham steak that I found at Walmart. So I'm going to dice that up and cook that up too, just a little bit. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees because I'm going to be using an oven-safe pan here to make my frittata in. Alright, I'm going to go ahead now and dice up my ham steak into bite-sized pieces. I've got some butter sizzling away over here in my oven safe pan. So I'm going to go ahead now and add my ham. Alright, I'm going to go ahead now and add my hash browns in here. Now I've got my sous chef over here, my husband Thomas, who's helping me heat up everything in my pan. So I'm going to add about 3/4 or maybe a cup worth of those potatoes in there. And we're going to heat those through. We kind of want to make sure that everything is heated through. Alright, I'm going to go ahead now and chop up, just rough chop some peppers and onions here and add those. Alright, we're going to go ahead now and season with some pepper and salt. And I've got 2 other ingredients I'm going to put in there for seasonings. Got some garlic powder. Oh, that just makes it such a good flavor there. And then I'm going to add some paprika too as another layer of flavor. And also it's going to add another color to it. So it's going to be really pretty. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and just mix that through and just make sure everything is heated through. Now I've got 6 eggs in a bowl here, and I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of some whipping cream. And I'm going to season this. Got to season all your layers. Got some pepper going in and some salt. Alright, I'm going to go ahead now and just bust up all the yolks and whisk this all together. Alright, he went ahead and added some spinach and cheese to this, and we wilted that all down. Alright, I'm going to go ahead now and add my egg mixture in. I'm going to let it set up for just a little bit, and then I'm going to start pulling it away from the sides and just making sure that the vegetables and everything are evenly distributed in the pan so that it cooks nice and even. Alright, I'm going to start pulling away from the sides the egg mixture that's cooked, and then just kind of, I'm going to be spinning the pan around to kind of make sure that the egg mixture falls into the empty spaces there. So it will all solidify. This is going to go into my preheated oven, and I'm only going to cook this for about 8 to 10 minutes, and we're just looking for it to not be jiggly anymore. Alright, so this just came out of the oven. Look at that, it's very solid. There is no movement to it. You don't want it to be kind of jiggly or anything. If it is, you need to put it back in the oven for a few minutes. Alright, so I'm going to cut another piece here. The other 2 pieces went away. People came up with their plates and I didn't get to show y'all on camera what they look like, so I'm going to show you this piece here. Look how solid that looks. Look how delicious. Alright, what's for dinner tonight? I am going to be making Asian-inspired ground chicken lettuce wraps. So with the ground beef, I'm going to be adding some delicious flavors of soy sauce, hoisin sauce, sesame oil, some ginger, and some garlic. Then I'm going to bulk the whole thing up with some peppers, and I've got a red and an orange one here. I've got a zucchini, squash, and then some green onions to go with that. And then after I put this together, I'm going to quickly make a fried rice recipe that I have, and that'll come together pretty good because I'm already making the rice right now. Alright, we're going to go ahead now and start dicing up our vegetables. Now I like to use my handy dandy vegetable chopper here because it's got a big base to hold everything, and then it keeps all of my veggies the same size as I'm cutting them up, so it's got a good cook to it. Now we're going to go ahead and add some oil to the bottom of my pan on medium-high. We're going to add the vegetables, and we're going to season with some salt and pepper. I'm going to saute. We're going to add some green onions to this because it's another flavor profile. It's going to taste good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and mix this up and saute it until I get to the consistency I'm looking for, and then I'm just going to pull them out. I'm just using my spider utensil here. I'm going to add a little bit more oil to the bottom of my pan with my ground chicken, and then I'm going to take my meat chopper here to break it all up to assist in helping it brown up. Another tool I love in my kitchen. Alright, I got some paper towels in the bottom of my pan, and it's going to just help absorb some of the water and grease at the bottom, and I'll take that out. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my vegetables back in and give that a nice stir with my ground chicken. Then we're going to start adding some more flavors. I've got some soy sauce, about a 1/4 cup. And we're going to be using some hoisin sauce. This is really delicious. It adds a nice little flavor to it. Alright, we've got some sesame oil, about 1 tablespoon going in. I've got some ginger paste. I love this stuff. Yeah, it's so good. Alright, got some garlic going in. Y'all, this is to flavor for your taste, so think about that when you put it in. Alright, giving it a nice stir. I'm going to turn this off and just kind of let it sit and absorb all the flavors while I make my fried rice. Now, I've got about a couple of tablespoons of sesame going into the bottom of my pan, and I got it super hot. I'm going to add my cooked rice, probably about 3 cups there. I'm going to flatten it down so that it can start kind of getting crispy on the ends there and the edges. I'm going to go ahead and add my peas and carrots so they can start steaming and warm through. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of some garlic. I'm going to add some more soy sauce. And then I went ahead and I added some salt and pepper. You didn't see that step, but that did happen. I'm going to go ahead now and give this a mix. Really good. I'm going to start pushing everything off to the side. Letting it sit over on that side, crisping up just a little bit while I beat about 4 eggs. Really good. We love our eggs in our fried rice. You can put whatever eggs you want in there. We like 4. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit of sesame oil to keep the flavor profile going so that I can cook my eggs in it. Now as I pour my eggs in, I'm going to make sure that it sits for just a little bit to kind of solidify on the sides there, and then start pulling it into itself, incorporating some of the rice as we go. Once I get a solid mix on the scrambled eggs, I'm going to start incorporating the rice into the eggs. Doesn't that look good? Oh my gosh, I could just have a bowl of that. It looks so good. Alright, we're going to give it another little flavor profile by adding some sesame seeds to it. Alright, I'm building it up. There's my butter lettuce. I'm going to add my Asian ground chicken mixture to it with the vegetables. That looks good. Alright, then I added my fried rice on the side. Doesn't that look like a good what's for dinner? Okay, so what's for dinner? I made a taco stuffed pasta bake, and that was earlier this week. So I had made a full video on it, and if you're interested in seeing it, I will have it linked down below in my description box. And what it consists of was I used jumbo pasta shells, and I cooked them, cooled them down. Then I made a mixture of ground beef that was seasoned with some taco seasoning, salsa, corn, some cheese, and onions. And then the ground beef was cooked. I stuffed that into my cooked pasta shells and then baked them in the oven. While that was happening, I went ahead and made some Goya Mexican rice. And then I made some refried beans with some sour cream and taco seasoning mixed into it. Alright, so if you're interested, just make sure you go down below in the description box and click on the full video. Alright everyone, I hope that I inspired you by one of my dishes this week. Let me know down in the comments which your favorite was. Give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification. You'll always know when my shows are posted. Alright, I will see you on my next episode.